Hi guys, this is Ranjit and let's do the tech Q&A session, and you guys enjoyed the last two Q&A sessions. So it's end of March, so let's do it, and I have taken about 15 or 16 questions via Twitter. So let's go over them and a variety of questions that I've taken. So let's go on. And the first question that I got is from Ishank. He's asking, I've heard that the Realme 8 series is not value for money, but if we consider the premium of slightly better UI, how is it in terms of value? To be frank, the Realme 8, I felt generally what happens with Realme is they are pretty aggressive in pricing and then neck to neck to the Redmi smartphones. But here in the case of the Realme 8 and even the 8 Pro, I frankly feel their pricing was totally wrong for what specs they have. Yes, for example, I didn't even bother to review the Realme 8, but I got the Realme 8 Pro and I did the unboxing. But when I came to know about the pricing, the base variant starts at 18,000. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad phone at all. But when we compare it with the phones like this, the Redmi Note 10 Pro or the Max, it just falls short. It has a regular 60 Hz screen, no stereo speakers and stuff. So I feel they're really goofed up this year with the Realme 8 series, guys. That's the reason I'm not even bothering to review the Redmi 8 Pro, because though it's a great phone, but it doesn't stand a chance in front of the Redmi Note 10 Pro or the 10 Pro Max. Simple as that. Yes, in terms of real UI, the Realme UI is better than MIUI, but again, you just at this price point, you need to have a little bit more. I hope Realme understands this situation, and with Realme 9 they really come back. Anyways, this is by Darshan. He's asking, what's your take on Samsung India's pricing on budget phones? With those poor specs, he says, even though they have biggest manufacturing plant in India, the devices are not comparable to Redmi and Realme. They're getting sales with just our emotion, non-Chinese. Darshan, let's get this fact. Many of us want that Samsung, when they launch their phones or whatever, this is the A52, we want it to be priced like the Redmi or Realme. But the simple fact is that that will never happen. Samsung will not price their phone like, what do you say, Realme or Redmi, because they don't have to. They have that brand image and people associate with that. That is the reason they can charge a bit of premium. And I would say, yes, in the Samsung, they launch a lot of smartphones, but only a select few of them are actually good. Many of them are actually total junk. For example, the Galaxy A32 comes to my mind, even the some of the M series. So you got to be selective. And if you are expecting that Samsung will price their smartphones like Realme or Redmi, etc., that is simply not going to happen. You will always pay that premium for Samsung. For example, currently I'm testing the Samsung Galaxy A52. It's a pretty good phone. In fact, many of the bugs that I found on the Redmi, like call issues, etc., are not there on this phone. So very practical phone, but you certainly have that premium of about 25% on the smartphone. The UI is better. So, but that premium is definitely there, and I think so that will continue when you're going for premium brands like this. We also want Samsung phones to be priced at like Xiaomi phones, but that is simply not going to happen. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Rats. What do you feel about the Redmi Note 10 series right now? As far as I remember, your most favorite device among the series was the Redmi Note 10 4. How do you think they have evolved over the years? Again, I would say the Redmi smartphones, so specifically the Note series, is very aggressive, and still I would say they are very, very aggressive. For example, I like what Manu has done with the Redmi Note 10 series. I don't like some of the cheap things that they do, like flash sales, that black marketing that goes on and stuff. But in terms of hardware, the Redmi Note 10 series have this year hit it out of the park. And I have told in the review of the Redmi Note 10 Pro, nothing even comes close to the smartphone in terms of the hardware that you're getting. Yes, there are some MIUI bugs and the proximity sensor issue, but if you look past that, nothing even comes. You're now getting an AMOLED screen, 120 Hz. So I feel Redmi is still getting to that point of very aggressive pricing with very good hardware. This year I felt Realme was not that aggressive. So they're still doing that good job. I just hope they improve MIUI because it's still pretty buggy, and also that proximity sensor issue is a big issue on these new Redmi Note 10 series smartphone. Anyways, it moves to the next one. This is by Derek. He says, I saw multiple reports of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE launching on 30th of March. Yes, there are a lot of rumors floating out, but looks like it was just marketing. What would you recommend, the S20 FE 5G, OnePlus 8 Pro, or the Mi 10? Derek, it's not a rumor, because just yesterday night I got an email from Samsung India that they are shipping out a review on it of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G to me. So I should be getting it in the next couple of days. So it's not a rumor, it's officially launching, but I didn't get any other details like the pricing or when it's going to launch. So if they're sending the units now, so definitely by next week or next couple of days it should be launching. So it's not a rumor. Let's see how do they price. I'm also very curious how do they price this FE 5G edition that comes with the Snapdragon 865, because last year, if you notice, that smartphone internationally got a lot of rave reviews and also some awards. The camera is also actually pretty good. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Tyrex. Don't you feel manufacturers like OnePlus, Xiaomi, Oppo, etc. should make phones slightly smaller size, that is a 5.8 to 6.2 inches? He's saying not only it's hard for elderly to handle these tall phones, there are thousands like me who just don't want huge screens. We have no choice. Yes, I get that point, but I think so. The people who are looking for smaller size phones are a very small minority. I think so, it's in single digits. That's the reason we are seeing many of the manufacturers going with this very big screen phones, because these days the phone has become a primary mode of consumption of content. People are watching a lot of videos, etc. on this one. For example, we have multiple 4K TVs in my house. I watch some of the stuff on TV, but my wife hardly watches that. They actually use their smartphone for watching content, and that way the bigger screen size goes. And looks like the bigger phones are the ones that are selling a lot. For example, if we look at the iPhone mini, the new one that they launched, the iPhone 12 mini, it didn't sell that much. So looks like most of the consumers are opting for the larger screen. And I also like small phones, but I think so we are in that minority. Let's move to the next. This is by Sanket. He's asking, how is the RAM management of the Redmi Note 10 Pro? Is it okay or better than the predecessor, that is Redmi Note 9 Pro? Redmi Note 9 Pro, I don't recall, it's been a lot of time, but I felt it was slightly better than the Mi 10i, which I had reviewed a couple of months back. But still, I would say RAM management is not the best. It does have that tendency to kill apps if you haven't used it for 20-25 minutes or something. So that way I do not like. Still very, very aggressive, I would say. In that way, I felt the Realme is not that aggressive in RAM management compared to it. But it's not a total deal breaker also. But yeah, if you're expecting, you opened an app, let's say half an hour ago, it will be in memory. Very high chance it will boot it out of the memory. That's how it is. That's what I say. MIUI, very aggressive in RAM management and some of the bugs that it has. That's the big issue. Ads, they have toned down a lot, but these usability issues are quite a bit there, and that bugs are also there. This is by Apurva. What are your thoughts about these devices like firestick, smartbox, Tata, Skybinge, etc.? Because now even budget TVs have these functionality. I feel that there is space for these like firesticks, the Mi TV box, etc. Let me give you my example only. We have one older TV that's 1080p TV. The TV is working perfectly fine, I would say, but we use it with the Fire TV stick. And what I've noticed is that some of the older TVs that are now almost 4 years old, though they were smart, their UI has become so sluggish, and some of the new apps are not supported on that. So in that area, I feel these Fire TV sticks, etc., Chromecast kind of a device actually helps. And so certainly there is a market, because yes, the TV UI might get very slow or sluggish, but your TV might be perfectly working fine in terms of picture quality. You can just put these and use it, I would say. Certainly a market, I would say. And I know many of my friends also who have about 4.5-year-old TV. I've recommended quite a few of them Fire TV sticks or even the Mi TV box, and they're very happy with the same. This is by Abhi. What do you think about Xiaomi India, like flash sales, non-availability or low price variants, black marketing? I simply do not like it. In fact, I had posted a dedicated video about it. Again, I'll leave the link, watch that. In fact, I also could not buy the Redmi Note 10 Pro in the flash sales, and I had to buy it from the offline market by paying extra money. That's a simple fact. And black marketing is going on. Xiaomi knows about it. I made a video and I challenged Mr. Manu to respond to it, but looks like, again, let's deny it. Nothing is happening like that. That's the irony. It is happening. It's a fact. And I hate the fact that these vendors put out limited units. Also, the availability of colors and variants is limited. So they're shoving up whatever they want. This is a sad trend, but yeah, it is true. This is by Akshay. Comment on Wi-Fi 6 for average people with the 100 to 150 Mbps speed plan. Actually, recently I purchased a couple of Wi-Fi 6 routers if you follow me on Twitter. In fact, on the budget range, I am actually using, I was testing this one. This is the TP-Link AX1500 Wi-Fi 6 router, and it's actually really good. Even if you have speeds up to 300 megabit, it will suffice. And the Wi-Fi range is actually, Wi-Fi 6 range is very good on that. That is on the 5 gigahertz. But on the 2.4 gigahertz, it's not that great, I would say. But I was surprised with it was handling my home network, which has a devices connectivity of more than 20 Wi-Fi devices connected at the same time. So I feel for that price, it's very good. I'm also testing a slightly higher end version that is from Asus. That's for about almost 15,000. That's far better, but again, that costs almost 3 times the cost of the TP-Link. I'll leave the link of both of them, and hopefully sometime later in March I'll try to do the review. So certainly yes, the Wi-Fi 6 does make a difference, and these new Wi-Fi 6 routers, on the 5 gigahertz band, they have actually pretty good range. Generally on the 5 gigahertz band, the Wi-Fi range used to be not good with the regular Wi-Fi 5 routers, but on the Wi-Fi 6, that's not the case. In fact, with the Wi-Fi 6 routers, mostly I use them on the 5 gigahertz band. This is by Jagdish Rahul. He's saying, YouTubers having YouTube as professional full-time don't use YouTube Premium. Then who uses it? Now that we are incrementally forced to watch 20-second ads from 5 seconds in the past, do you think people invest in YouTube while OTT platforms exist? Jagdish, I think you're referring to me. Where you see some of the new smartphones that I set up, you see that you don't see YouTube Premium on that. The reason for this is that we use a test account on new devices for first 1 or 2 days, and there I do not have YouTube Premium. But for my personal accounts, actually we have 4 accounts in our family: my wife, my daughters, mine, and one more. All are having YouTube Premium. For example, this is logged on to my personal account. This is having YouTube Premium. We use YouTube Premium because I just hate ads on it, so avoid that. And also with YouTube Premium, you have an option of playing the videos in the background. For example, I just don't want to watch something, just want to hear the commentary. I just close the screen, then also it plays. But I don't watch those YouTube Premium shows or something, but I just use it to avoid ads, and I have actually 4 premium accounts. But mostly when you see on new smartphones what I'm setting, that's our official office account on which we don't have YouTube Premium, because I also want to know what kinds of ads are playing on my channel. So yeah, it obviously doesn't compete with OTT, but again, if you are annoyed with ads, that is the reason people might use YouTube Premium. Anyways, this is my Narendra. What's your viewpoint on OnePlus, starting from OnePlus 3 to current OnePlus 9 Pro? Do you think they have changed a lot? Narendra, yes, OnePlus as a company has changed quite a bit now. If we talk about it, how its origins, when the OnePlus started, it was a very consumer-oriented company. They used to always look at consumers, what they wanted, and they always tried to give the best hardware for the price. And we saw that earlier, but now the current OnePlus is a very different company. They're not that focused on consumers, I would say, in terms of features also, and they're charging quite a bit of premium. I'm really saddened with the OnePlus 9. If you look at it, it's priced at what, 50,000, but the frame is actually made up of just fiber and plastic. That used to never happen with OnePlus. Also, coming to 5G bands in India, the OnePlus 9 series that are sold in India have just 2 5G bands, whereas the international variants have more than 1 dozen 5G bands. So it's saddened to see what OnePlus is doing. So it's not the same company, guys. Let's be just frank about it. I'm glad that they at least launched the OnePlus 9R, and I feel between the regular OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9R, the 9R might be better. Because even the OnePlus 9 that's cost for 50,000 does not have optical image stabilization, whereas the 9R has it. But 9R has just 1 5G band, not even 2. Anyways, so yeah, it's a very different company. I've purchased the OnePlus 9 Pro just yesterday, so should be getting it by tomorrow. So hopefully I'll post my video and I'll test it and I'll give you my fair review about it. What do I feel about it? This is by Gaurav. He is asking, with such a high depreciation, is it worth to purchase a phone costing more than 20,000 or a flagship price? The resale value of a phone around 40,000 is just around 10,000 after 1.5 years. Are manufacturers strategizing so users can purchase their phones after every 2 or 3 years? Gaurav, I've mentioned about this even earlier last year. In fact, I made a dedicated video how much you should pay for a smartphone. I feel you strictly do not need to spend more than 20,000 today for a smartphone for your basic needs. If you're spending more than that, then you are that brand conscious, or you want that extra features like wireless charging and optical image stabilization and stuff. But strictly as a day-to-day phones like these that are less than 20,000 do everything. And now the cameras on these smartphones have also become very good. So if you're paying more than that, you are looking at something else. You are a little bit more brand conscious. You want to show people what you're using and stuff. It's like cars, guys. You can get a good car these days for 7-8 lakhs, but people buy cars of 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So it's just like that. Anyways, this is by Mandeep. Why don't smartphone vendors give software features like backtap on iOS or moto action? These are really handy features. Mandeep, I think so that all comes down to patents. I feel iOS and even moto have actually patented that. That's why other manufacturers are simply not able to use it. Otherwise, they would have copied it left and right. Anyways, this is by Papi Bhai here. Do you think phones really do need 16 or 18 gigabytes of RAM? Are the chipset capable enough to use all the RAM, or whether these are all gimmicks? I would say for 95% of the users, 8 GB of RAM is more than enough, more than enough. Yes, if it's a gaming centric smartphone or a foldable or something special kind of a smartphone, yes, going up to 12 gigabytes of RAM might be useful, but above that, it's just bragging rights, I would say. Okay, how much RAM does your smartphone have? 8 GB. Oh, I have 16 gigabytes. It's just bragging rights, guys. Anyways, this is by John T. Does your jiofibre support voice over Wi-Fi with Airtel SIM? With my jiofibre connection, I'm not getting voice over Wi-Fi, he says. I have the Redmi K20 Pro and settings are okay. The thing is that, yes, I have the Jio fiber as well as Airtel fiber also. And I would say I have heard about this issue that if you're using an Airtel SIM, it does not work properly with the Jio fiber. And I think so that is because of if you're using the built-in DNS of Jio fiber, I have heard that that is causing an issue. Try changing the DNS servers to public DNS servers like 8.8.8 or some other public DNS servers. I've heard that resolves that issue if you're using a Airtel SIM. The routing, it's the routing issue. So just try that. And I actually never use Jio Fiber's own DNS server. I always use third-party DNS servers, and I did not have a problem. But yes, if you're having an Airtel SIM, currently where I am, I'm having Airtel Fiber, and Airtel Fiber works very well with Airtel SIM with voice over Wi-Fi. Anyways, this is the last question. Let's take it. This is by Pranay. He's asking, he says new Poco X3 has launched at a very aggressive price point. And do you think that considering the price, the weight and thickness of the Poco X3 Pro is fine? Because other popular brands are trying to give more importance to in-hand feel and weight of the device. Pranay, I think so what the Poco is trying to do with the Poco X3 Pro is targeting a very different kind of demographic users. They are trying to target power users, gamers, etc., for whom the raw performance is the highest criteria. So, and they know there are a lot of users in that segment who simply can't get this sort of power under 20,000. If you want that kind of power, you have to spend above 30,000. So they are targeting those kind of users. So if you are that kind of a user, you will gravitate towards the Poco X3 Pro. So again, guys, that's the advantage with Android phones these days. You have a variety of smartphones in every segment. And I think so each smartphone tries to actually cater to a certain segment of audience. So I feel the Poco X3 Pro is targeting that kind of a user, the power user, the gamer, or whom the performance is the highest criteria. Anyways, hopefully I should be getting the Poco X3 Pro very soon, so stay tuned to the channel. I will be covering that. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. And if you guys are still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this Q&A, hit that like button. I've heard that the algorithm prefers these days if you hit the like button. Anyways, guys, take care. Catch you later.